the real round of applause. All right, so first up, as promised, and even starting ahead of schedule, we have Kawhi Leonard and Lou Williams. Both of you gentlemen, thank you for being here. And again, time's to start with the audience questions. Jim Hill, why don't you do the honors of getting us going? Jim Hill from CBS, the only intro I'll do. Get a microphone here for Jim.
All right, Jamie, thank you very much. Gentlemen, good morning or good afternoon and good luck this year. With all the things that are anticipated for this season, I'd like for you to talk about the excitement you have on this day getting ready, and also with the anticipation of what can happen. I'd like for you to talk about the process in which you can get to where you want to go and not skip anything in between.
All right, I guess for today, the excitement is just able to put on the jersey, be around the fellas again, and talk about tomorrow. That's when our training camp begins. And like you said, it's a process, it's a journey, and we all have a focus and goal. And we'll figure it out tomorrow how we're going to get there.
Yeah, I'm just excited to get the process started. I feel like we made a lot of positive steps last season with the group we had. Obviously, with the addition of Kawhi and Paul and the other guys, we really feel like we have an opportunity to do something special here in the city of Los Angeles. So starting camp tomorrow, we look forward to getting that going.
Next question. Over here.
Hi, Helene Elliott from the LA Times. Lou, just curious, last season this team took a lot of pride in being scrappy and underdogs and a real team without superstars. Now you have two superstars. How does the dynamic change?
I think it's important for us to maintain that mindset. I think that works in our favor with the personalities that we have in our locker room. That should be the majority of our makeup. I don't think we should just stop being ourselves because we have the addition of those guys. I think all of those things mesh well together, especially when you're trying to do something at a high level. I don't know if there's a way to tell Pat Beverly to chill out. So I don't think that changes, especially for me. I don't think my mindset changes either. So.
Let's take one on this side in the front row with the blue shirt.
Thank you. A two-part question for each of you gentlemen.
Your name and affiliation, please.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Daryl Howerton, Hoop Magazine. Kawhi, first for you. You've been part of the 2014 championship Spurs, the 2019 championship Raptors. You've seen how teams are constructed. You kind of like the Clippers build-up and also wanted Paul George to come here. Tell me what makes up a championship team in your eyes. And Lou, the 2012 76er team you were on probably would have won a couple championships by now had it stuck together. You play with the Rockets in 2017, the Lakers in 2017. If those two teams were kept together, they'd be strong contenders. I want you to answer how frustrating it is when you have a great thing going and you see a championship going, and now you finally have it here. That's all.
Well, for me, 2012 was a very special year for me. I really enjoyed the guys that I shared the court with. We were very young at that time. We didn't have any egos. Everybody played selfless. When we just laid it out on the line, we were an 8 seed, ended up knocking out a number 1 seed, and then taking Boston to 7 games. We felt like if we kept that group together, we could have possibly did some incredible things. But business is business. It didn't work out that way. It didn't happen, and those other scenarios kind of were just blips on the screen for me. So, but 2012 was different.
For me, just everybody being high character, sacrifice, wanting to win, determination, knowledge, all that together, just being on the floor, going out there as one unit, all trying to accomplish that ultimate goal. I think that's what drives a championship team. And, you just figure out the bumps and roads on the way there. It's about enjoying the journey and not getting ahead of yourself, not skipping any steps. So, that's what I think the process is on those two teams. But you also have to stay healthy as well. And, you have to be blessed.
Next question.
Shelley Smith from ESPN. Kawhi, what'd you do with the fish?
first, yeah. What did I do with the fish? Like anybody else would do. Have somebody fillet it if you don't, or fillet it yourself. And cook it and eat it.
You ate it. What kind of fish was it?
I think we caught some rockfish, some salmon
Right.
groupers out there. I mean, it was a good time. It was a good day for everybody.
What was the technique you used to grab the biggest fish of the day?
I didn't grab the biggest fish of the day.
Well, then who did?
The lady, no, Denise did. Yeah, Denise. She grabbed the biggest fish.
I grabbed the smallest fish.
Was that the taco one?
They threw mine back in the water. That's how small it was.
Denise will be available later for questions about her big fish. Next question all the way in the back with the black shirt. Oh, I'm sorry. BT already go.
Brad Turner, LA Times. Lou, this is for you. You and Montrez combined to help you guys have one of the best benches in the NBA, but you guys have more depth now. How would that help you guys, and how beneficial would it be to have some more help off the bench?
Yeah, I think mentally for us, I think we should just stay in the mindset of just continuing to build, continue to grow. Having depth isn't an issue for us. You know, obviously, everybody should just kind of go into the season with the mentality of just putting stats and putting records and history and all of that stuff aside. If it's not for the benefit of the team, you know what I mean? And so what Trez and I did last year was very special, but we look forward to building with this new group of guys and seeing what we can do.
Go front row here. Medina, did you have a question?
Mark Medina, USA Today. This is for Kawhi. From what the training staff's told you, how similar or different do you get a sense you'll be managed in terms of your workload this season?
It's different this season. Last year I was going in with the injury that I was dealing with the year before. It still was lingering, and we knew that I had to be healthy going throughout the season and making it to the playoffs. But, this year I'm feeling good. I'm feeling way better than I was at the start of last season. But there's really no plan laid out yet to discuss with everyone.
Hey guys, Cameron Buford here, Los Angeles News Observer. Got a question for each of you guys. Mr. Williams, what was your impression of Kawhi Leonard before him joining the Clippers? And then Kawhi, what was your impression of the Clippers before, obviously, you joining the Clippers? Thank you, guys.
My impression with Kawhi, I thought he was a top 5 player in the league, especially when he was in San Antonio. We hate running into him there. He always guarded me. I always knew it was going to be a tough night. What he brought to the table defensively, I was really impressed how he went to Toronto and changed the culture there and was able to win a championship with that particular group of guys. And I've just always been a big fan, so I was excited to have him here.
I wasn't able to play against him last year, just was dealing with injuries. Their thing, a confident unit, play very hard. It seemed like everybody was, it was a brotherhood here. They all went out and did their job, and if somebody was doing great that night, they fed them. Coach Doc did a great job of just, getting that group ready and pushing them to the playoffs, reach expectations that none of us gave the team. And, just, going through my process for agency, that's what I looked at, and I thought I could join and help in.
Joe Varden from The Athletic. This question is for Kawhi. Kawhi, have you thought about next summer with Team USA in the Olympics, and some of the other All-Stars in the NBA have been declaring that they want to do it? So I just wondering where you were with that.
Right now, yeah, I do want to play, but, I'm taking it one step at a time, and right now it's getting the Clippers to the finals.
Next question on this side.
Hey guys, welcome back, Lou. Welcome, Kawhi. Kawhi, a question for you. Miriam Swanson with the Southern California News Group. How nice is it to be home? I saw some footage of you at Canyon Springs, I think recently, and and obviously the backpacks, that thing that you're doing is great. But what's it like for you to be here back in Southern California?
It's one of the reasons why I came back is being able to go back to my community and for them to see me, able to touch them, they able to, shake my hand, just able to be there and be a guidance or inspiration for the youth. It's hard to do it when I'm either in, I'm being drafted in Texas. They really don't have no time. But the 2 games that we do come out here, and then last year I was in a totally different country, and I was on the East Coast, so it was only about twice that I came out here. But like I said, it's one of the big reasons why I came back. I'm able to be a part of the community that I grew up in and just let them know it's not a myth and that I really, was just in their shoes one day, one of those days, and they could be in my shoes.
Next question over here. Let's go to Ramona in the back.
Thanks, Jamie. Ramona Shelburne, ESPN. Just a question for Kawhi. I know you were one of the people who attended Kobe's camp that he did, or secret invite camp up at the Mamba Sports Academy. What was that like with all the players that were there, and also what's your relationship like with Kobe now and what it's been like?
I think it's a good relationship. I didn't play, though. I just went up there and conversated with him. But it's a good group of talent that went. I wasn't really able to see them play against each other, but he did a great job getting a lot of trainers together, elite trainers and the elite, players that were there and putting them through drills. I'm not sure what they did, throughout the whole day. I was up there for about an hour or two just talking to Kobe, bouncing ideas off of him, and that was just pretty much it.
Dan.
Kawhi, Dan Wecky with the Los Angeles Times. You've now changed teams. This will be your 3rd team in the last 3 seasons. What did you learn last year about having to come together quickly? And is that a reality kind of in the NBA now that teams don't have years to build, that you just have to do it fast?
If you can have a team, same group of players, you could get to the top. You've seen what the Warriors did in the last 5 years with their same core players. But, last year, me and Danny going in there, I think we just both had a drive and championship experience, and they just needed to get over that hump. Toronto Raptors been in the playoffs, several years before we got there. They just needed that little push over the top, and I think me and Danny went over there. We knew what a championship team needs, and we make sacrifices as players as well. So we just went in and with that group of talent, and everybody was smart, and we just bought into one goal. Yeah, like I said, last year it seemed like watching them was like a brotherhood for them being on the floor together. They played with each other. They made sacrifices. They also have Coach Doc, great head coach, been in the league for a while.
Last question.
Hey, guys. Josh Martin, Close-Up 360 in the back here. Now, it seems like the way that the team has been constructed, you're going to have a pretty strong defensive identity. And when you think about building that, how important is it to you to have sort of an off-court chemistry, and what have you guys as leaders of the team done to help facilitate that?
We've done several things. Chemistry is a real thing. I thought it was important for us to be in a room with each other as much as possible to start building that camaraderie, to understand what each guy brought to the table personality-wise. That way, once we get into the season, once we get into those fourth quarters where we need to communicate and our competitive spirits is high, your words won't be misconstrued. Your teammates can understand that you're coming from a positive place and you have a common goal of trying to win the basketball game. And so that camaraderie is important, when you get to know guys. And I think we almost, we speak every day, if not every other day, just building that and just understanding who each other are. So it's important.
All right, guys, thank you. And Jim, do you want to get us going here?
First of all, gentlemen, good luck this year. And Paul, there's been so much talk about the great expectations of this team and where you want to go. Can you talk about the pitfalls that are out there that you have to be aware of so that you can get past them to get to where you want to go?
I think the good thing about my career and being where I'm at now is I've been a part of teams that we've built something in the locker room. We've built that brotherhood, and we didn't allow outside noise. We didn't allow media. We didn't allow anything to break us apart. And I sense that with this group here, how well and tight-knit we are already. And ball ain't even been rolled out yet. So I think that's most important, that we keep everything in-house, whether we got our ups, our downs. Everything is even-keeled. Everything is where everybody's on the same page. And, you know, we go out as one. If we maintain that, and we're going to get through anything.
From this side, Nikki?
Paul and Nikki with Spectrum. It's one thing to know you're coming home and to finally have it come to fruition. Has there been any surreal moments where you wake up and you're like, I'm home for good?
The fact that I'm unpacking instead of packing at this time is a surreal moment. I mean, every day I'm here, every day I'm waking up in the morning, every day I'm taking that drive on the 405, you know, is a surreal moment. And, you know, ultimately what I wanted to get to in my career is being back home and being close to my people. So it's never going to get old, from me coming in today, having media day here, to putting on this jersey, to the first game, to hearing my name in the starting lineup. You know, everything is going to be a reminder of where I'm at right now.
Andrew?
Andrew Greif from the Los Angeles Times for Paul. Could you just update on your status of your health, where you're at, what you think you might be able to take part in training camp, and also with coming back from a significant injury previously in your career, does that inform how you've rehabbed from your shoulders this time?
Yeah. As far as my health, I'm pretty good. I'll be in camp starting this week. Nothing contact, but all the 5-on-0 stuff, all the scripted stuff I'll be a part of. In terms of being, I'm used to being in this rehab stage and knowing what it takes to get my body prepared and get my body up to speed. It's a long process, but, you know, again, I think me going through it and having a drastic injury in my leg, I know what to expect. I know what pressure to put on myself and what pressure not to put on myself as well. That comes with a lot of stress when you're going through rehab. So I'm just in a good place. I know what I need to do. I know what I'm capable of, and ultimately I know when my body's ready.
Trez, you're coming off such an incredible season, and you and Lou really had something special there going.
I forgot I was up here.
Yeah, no, you are up here. You are up here.
Thank you, Jamie.
Just following you on social media, you haven't had an off season, Trez. You've been playing a lot of basketball. Is there anything that you've been working on as you get ready for this coming season?
Everything, really. Definitely improving my offensive game, counters and stuff like that. Guys are, you know, when they ultimately play me, go to take away my right hand because they know it's my dominant hand. So there's just different counters like that, different things like that. And, you know, shooting the ball from, you know, all aspects of the floor, mid-range, all the way out to the three-point line. And defensively, just improving on awareness, you know, foot speed, you know, lateral movement. So just being able to rotate and make those extra defensive plays when guys are beating, things like that. So as far as the offseason, you're right. I never really take off. I constantly stay around the game of basketball because I'm blessed to be able to play it and call it my job. So I look at getting better as a ultimate thing all summer for me.
And what I really want to know is how many new sneakers did you get? A lot.
Yeah, a lot. I can't put a number on that, but definitely improved with my sneaker collection, most definitely.
Of course you did. Question here in the front row. Kurt?
Hey, Paul. Mark Medina, USA Today. What do you make of the trend league-wide where there's teams that have a duo of stars as opposed to a big three, and how do you think that might affect the dynamic?
I mean, I think what Boston did was special. I think what Miami did was special. But I think it goes back to, you know, you have two guys that are, you know, the guys, and then you have a group around them that supports them to the highest level. And that foundation is around a lot of the guys in this league. You look at Milwaukee, you look at Philly, you look at the Lakers, you look at Houston, Utah. I mean, everybody has their two guys, and then it's a heck of a supporting cast that's with them. So you can fill in that third spot with anybody to have a big three on all of those teams. So I think it's a good thing for the league. It changed the league, but it's good for the league. The big three, everybody was looking for a big three. It didn't work for a lot of teams. And so now this is a new dynamic for the new generation of this league.
Tevin, a question to both of you guys. At the other media day in town Friday, LeBron said the big winner was Staples Center. For you guys being the center focal point, for the first time, there's a legitimate rivalry between the two teams where both have expectations to win a championship. And you guys are at the center of that. What does that mean to you? How do you describe it?
I don't think we've really paid too much attention to any of that. We don't get into the whole back and forth thing. I think it's more so something for the city to do and basically for you guys to do as far as media. As far as us, we look at it as another game on the schedule that, just has to be played, and one that we have to go out there and prepare and in order to get ourselves ready to win. I don't think we get too much brought into the whole, LA versus LA type thing. I definitely agree with him, but as far as the Staples Center in general as a winner, because we both play in that building, so as far as that, I definitely agree with it. But as far as like the whole rivalry thing like that, I don't think, I know in our locker room, we don't really tie ourselves too much to that.
I mean, yeah, I say the same thing. I agree with what Brian said. The Staples Center is where you want to be with the team we got and with the team they have. But I don't put that pressure that's the team that we necessarily have to compare ourselves up to 29 other teams that we got to go ahead and go against and compete against. It's not a head-to-head battle of LA thing. We got to come out, we got to play, we got to do what we got to do, same way the 29 other teams got to do.
Dan.
Hey guys, Dan Wicke with the Los Angeles Times. Question for both of you. Trez, teams around the league have put together mini camps and have tried to get a head start into training camp, doing the team building things that typically would happen in training camp. How far along are you guys on that? Paul talked about it a bit. How far along are you guys on that process? And then my question, Paul, you've been in this league a little longer. Do you think that's happening because guys realize how quickly things can change, whether it's player movement or whatever, so when you have a good opportunity, you try to maximize the chance you have?
I definitely think we're, farther along than people actually think. We've came in probably, right after Memorial Day weekend, and we've been playing pickup, and guys have been lifting weights and getting extra cardio in and getting prepared to, what we're about to have come on Monday when we come in for the first day of actual training camp, and then going out to Hawaii, which is, an improvement of the team bonding and team building, even going over there. But, we've been going for a while, and, we just don't have that whole media source of everybody coming in and watching us. We're kind of those ones that kind of work behind the closed scenes and, get the job done. So we're a lot further along than people actually think, so.
Yeah, I think, to Trez's point, the second this came together, I mean, we were all in a group chat. We were all chatting, talking, laughing, building that togetherness, that camaraderie. The second, again, this came together. The second me and Kawhi became a part of this team. So that relationship was established early to where we came in the facility. It was, it was like I knew him. You know what I mean? I've been around these guys. I felt like it was already, we fast forward all of that getting to knowing each other based off of us just already being in that chat. And then I think you seize the opportunity. You know it's ahead. You know what you have. I've again been lucky to play and fortunate to play on some really good teams, and you just never know. You never know how that team's gonna shape up. In my case, I got injured and Indiana, we went on a downfall from there. So you just never know. You never know what you have. So you got to give everything. You got to invest everything, and you try to pull the best out of that season, that group.
This is Pranav from the Scarecrow. Both of you guys play with a lot of physicality and toughness. How do you look to implement that when you guys play against other teams this year?
I don't look to change nothing I'm doing.
We ain't changing nothing.
As far as the way I play, how physical I play around the basket and everything, I don't look to change nothing I'm doing. So I guess that answers that.
We ain't changing nothing. I'm going to be hyped to be more physical. Trez take care of it, right?
Nice.
Over here, guys, Brad Turner from the LA Times. Trez, you and Lou were dynamic off the bench. How much better can this bench be with additions to the team you have now?
I definitely think it grows a lot, like I said, be able to be around Lou as much as I am in the summertime and be able to, get that extra bonding in, and different leagues that we play in down in Atlanta definitely does a great deal of help, and helping us form an even stronger bond of knowing the way, me and him kind of react and kind of feed off one another. But add the pieces that we have, including the pieces that we had last year, it just grows from there, really. I definitely think it's still going to be the same thing as me and Lou being the head of that snake, coming off the second bench and coming off the bench of, leading that group. But we have a lot of, guys that can definitely step in and do a lot more different things than what guys could do in the previous times for us, So I definitely think it improves us way more than it does hurting us. Like I said, we got different guys that come in and give a defensive presence on the floor, so we could definitely, save Lou to certain aspects of, on the other end of the floor, So I definitely think it's going to help us out a lot.
Beth Harris, AP. This is for Paul. I know you're in rehab mode now, but how seriously would you consider playing in the Olympics next year?
I would love to. Hopefully, God willing, I can get through a season healthy. And when that time comes, I would love to be a part of the Olympics and represent. But this comes first, obviously, and getting through this year, giving everything into this year, and hopefully by June, we're the last team standing, and I'll deal with it at that point. Don't really matter if we go all the way, and as long as I'm healthy. When I get to that point and I'm healthy, I'm in. I want to be a part of that group.
And last one, where's Mark?
Paul, Mark Wicker from Southern California News Group. How much have you envisioned what this team is going to look like defensively? It was already a good defensive team. Now you've added 2 premier defensive players. As far as versatility and just being able to adjust during games, how have you envisioned it?
It's going to be scary. I mean, we got Lou Will. No, it's going to be scary, with myself, Trez, Kawhi, Pat, Sham, Mo, Rodney. I mean, we really got a chance to do something special on the defensive end. And I think it's going to be an energetic thing. Watching Pat get out there and picking somebody up 94 feet, that's going to get me going. It's going to get Kawhi going. And it's just going to become contagious on a nightly basis. So I honestly think for the first time, people is going to be excited to watch the defensive side opposed to watching the offensive team. So, it's going to be fun. We can do a lot. There's a lot of versatility with what we can do. Guys guarding multiple positions, guys guarding bigger, guys guarding smaller. It's just a lot that we can go with. And it's a lot of guys that's committed to playing on that side. Who's going to score? You got to ask the other teams that. It's a question for them to answer.
All right, thank you guys. Paul George and Montrezl Harrell, thank you guys.